Joe, I've been told that the horse is being medically treated as we speak. He's been given oats and salt lick. We will have an update hopefully by the end of this telecast.
Yeah. Our crack medical staff went up to him and asked, "Hey, why the long face?"
That joke, I say nay.
Well, let's not beat a dead horse right now. We have a next matchup to get underway with. As Premier continues, and this guy, there's no joking match. Sless Taylor was on a meteoric rise in his career before the pandemic put us all on the shelf. It was Sless Taylor, it was Nate Matson, it was Bruce Gray. Collectively they were known as the Business, and they felt that they understood the mechanics of professional wrestling better than any other wrestler or fan. And honestly, you can argue with their methods, but it paid off. Nate Matson, last Premier Champion of record, and it was Sless Taylor and Bruce Gray, and really Nate as well under the Freebird rule. They were collectively the tag team champions. Sless was stripped of that championship without ever getting a chance to compete because obviously we have not been running events. Sless just feels like he should be deemed, lifetime champion at this point? What's up with that?
Well, I think that's fair. He certainly has an argument to that case to be made.
Well, I think that argument's a little flimsy when you look at the fact, well, let's meet the opponent first. I remind you that the Premier is obligated to defend your championship at least once every 120 days. And obviously, none of our champions could meet that requirement. It's not their fault. They're not getting punished. We're just giving everybody an opportunity because people change. Things change. A lot of time has passed. And I don't think any of us are the same people that we were once upon a time. And Cornelius Crummels is focused. Cornelius Crummels is determined. He had issues with Sless even predating the pandemic when the Business were running roughshod over the likes of the Culmination and Crummels and Defiance.
All I'm saying is, I think it's reasonable to assume...
By the way, I don't want to cut you off, but did you see that new hairstyle in Crummels?
Yes, I did. But it's reasonable to assume that Sless Taylor could be considered an honorary champion in Premier. Can we at least have that?
No! What has he done? He just uprooted himself from wherever he was earlier in the night to hijack this event, publicly gripe and complain. This guy, he thinks his problems are everybody's problems. You know what? Sometimes life deals you a bad hand. It's dealt us all a bad hand lately, and most of us grit it out and persevere. Sless wants to cry about and be a victim. Crummels isn't crying.
Joe, out of curiosity,
Sless from behind.
And, seeing Crummels, don't know why I would think this, but have you yelled out any wrestling moves or anything the last 17 months? Maybe obscenely louder than they need to be?
Well, I've still done events, so probably. Sless in a bad way here in the early going, and Sless is somebody whose temper is at least an 11. Crummels is trying to cover up and defend himself, get a defensive position as Sless begins to go to work. A Sless victory here puts him back up in the rankings. Sless could earn a championship. Sless could earn an opportunity to prove himself.
And Sless, as you said, was really coming into his own. He finally saw the light. Nate Matson really, opened his eyes, and he was meteoric, if I may.
I agree with you. It was the best run of Sless's career, and that's why he's upset it's over. And right now, Bruce is injured, Nate's not here, Sless is on his own, and he got taken down. And Crummels, who I think has expanded some of his business practices, and I don't know what he's doing, hair color, maybe he's hanging out at raves, I don't know, but he's not necessarily the same traditionalist he was pre-pandemic necessarily. So his style is a dropkick. I am. There's the elbow as well, and cover to count. And what I think is very interesting is that even before the pandemic, and it's carried over into now, Crummels and Defarge, as well as the Business, were looking to dominate in the tag division as well as one-on-one. We're seeing more of that here. Oh, went for a flying drop kick, and you can see that awkward, scary landing. Crummels right in the back of his head. Crummels, this match may be over. Crummels may not be able to continue.
Well, you know
At all. Sless taking a cheap shot. Sless got backed up by the official, but Sless could care less about the injuries to anybody as long as he looks good, as long as he gets what he wants, right?
Well, I mean, that's paramount, obviously, in the mind of Sless Taylor. And I'm going to be honest, in the mind of me as well. I think he has a legitimate gripe. I think another man that blames you, rightfully so, that is angry, rightfully so. And he's having to prove himself yet again. Obviously, has no problem doing so. I know the lessons that he learned from the business are paramount, are sticking with him.
There's a cover for two. Hey, Sless, I think, had his eyes open. I think there's a lot of valid advice from the Nate Matsons and Bruce Graves of the world. I mean, they combined for got about 40 years experience. Yeah, they're going to bring a lot to the table. Did you see the welts in the back of Crummels, by the way? This guy's banged up. But bottom line is the selfishness and the entitlement. And the fact that, well, our opinion automatically makes us better than you. That's not necessarily true. That's why we have these matches. And check out Crummels trying to fight his way free. Check out Crummels building something. And Sless the Samoa drop. This could be all here, all impact from Sless, but can't put him away.
Joe, it's what they say about opinions. They're like underpants. Everybody has them, and some are better than others.
Well, do you believe that because Sless looks at wrestling a certain way, that gives him just an uninterruptible path to the top?
In general, no, but the fact that he looks at it the right way certainly leads some credence to that.
There's a lot of people that the business upset along the way, talking about the culmination, Crummels, Defarge, Matt Cross. They left a lot of victims in their wake. Without a doubt they did.
Well, that's what the business does. It'll chew you up and spit you out.
And this is classic, dare I say, vintage Nate Matson offense. Just neck vice, slowing this thing down. These fans booing vehemently. But Sless could not care less. Into the cover. 2 count only. Notice the disrespect of the forearm draped across the jaw. Sless certainly in the position to succeed in a big way. Could you imagine how Sless would feel, how he would sound if he found himself all alone on top of our rankings? Crummels elbowing free.
Well, there'd be a lot of happiness, certainly amongst the business, definitely amongst Sless.
Crummels has an opening. Forearm strikes and elevates himself, Superman style. Crummels got that little extra bit of elevation to increase that impact. Drop kick! And Sless in a bad way. Is this enough? No. And Crummels sensed he had it. Crummels, his neck has been jarred. It might be seriously hurt. He's got these, you can see these abrasions up around the top of his back, around the shoulder area. Crummels is damaged goods. It behooves him to finish this thing as quickly as possible.
Yeah, if we're looking at this going for the long haul, my money's going to be on Sless. My money's always on Sless, by the way.
Crummels is going for the double underhook. Sless sneaks in a low blow.
Nah. Maybe a little.
Sless snuck in a low blow, stacked him up, grabbed the ropes to steady himself, just enough. And the referee didn't see a thing. Sless advances. So Sless Taylor is going to put himself near or at the top of our rankings at this point in time. Does this give him validation? What do you think? Where does Sless go from here?
Well, he goes to the top. He goes to wherever he wants to. This is not only a win for Sless Taylor, it's a win for Bruce Gray, it is a win for Nate Matson, it is a win for the business, and I thought Sless was going to take a hat. I was going to say, and he got a new hat in the process.
And with Sless looking at championships and myself and the rest of my committee looking to crown new champions. Every win counts. Unfortunately, even the tainted ones. Sless is more on this night, but is it enough to be on top of Premier?